Hi, how are you? Doing well, thank you. I'm going to say something first and then. So I'm using teleprompters today. You're not supposed to tell people, but when you see me lean like this, and then I turn around and lean like that, please know I'm really looking each of you directly in the eye, okay? We'll see how this goes. So good morning and thank you for being here, and thanks to our individuals who are watching from our regional campuses and our extension campuses and those of you who are joining us virtually. We're so glad you're here. And before I begin, I want to recognize a few people. So I'd like our Provost and Executive Vice President, Don Leo, to stand, and Eric Muth, our new Vice President for Research and Creative Activity. And watching remotely today is Mary Elizabeth Miles, who's our Vice President for Human Resources. These leaders all joined the team this last year, and Eric and Dawn just finished 90 days, all right? They've all three hit the ground running, and they've been great additions to our team, so I wanted to say thank you for being part of the team. So we'll soon have another addition, Greg Simmons. He's going to join us on November 4th as our Vice President of Advancement. You're really going to like Greg, so we're excited. I wanted to ask our new deans, if they're in the audience, to stand and be recognized. We have Dr. Lisa Harrison. She's not new to OU, but she's the new permanent dean at the Patton School of Education. We have Dr. Christina Bross, who is our new dean of the Honors Tutorial College, and Rob Ross, who's the dean of libraries. So let's just say thank you for joining us. We also have two interim deans, Dr. Jody Lamb, who's serving as the interim dean of the College of Fine Arts, and I know Jody was here, and he'll serve as we begin our national search for the new dean. And then Martha Klein is serving as the interim dean of Campus and Community Relations at Ohio University Lancaster. So we thank them both for stepping in to serve. And now can I have all the members of our leadership team, the president's cabinets, and the dean to stand so we can thank you for your service. So one more set of recognitions is in order. Will all faculty and staff who have joined us since January please stand? There we go. Thank you for choosing Ohio, and I hope you'll find that your career will thrive here at our university. So if you're in the room today and see some of these people that you don't know, we're going to have a reception afterwards, so I hope you'll go up and introduce yourself and get to know people that you might not know. So the reception will be right out there. And we're going to go, and we're going to go. So I want to offer everyone a really sincere thanks for the warm welcome that Randy and I got when we started our Ohio journey. Randy's here. That's my husband right there, so thank you, Randy. 2024 was a fantastic year with so many accomplishments from our students, staff, and faculty, and this is my first official State of the University address, so I'm honored to be your president and to share some news with you, and we have a lot to talk about, so hold on to your seats. So almost a year ago, I was speaking to you at our investiture. As we've gotten to know each other in the past year, I hope that you find me as a champion of students, someone who's transparent, and someone who's deeply committed to our mission as a national public university in the Appalachian region, and someone who believes fully in the potential of our university and those we serve. You may have discovered that when I see an opportunity in front of us to serve students better, to shore up a weakness, or better yet, to do something that we're doing well and build it into something better than any other university, I don't hesitate to act or ask my team to act with urgency. You can talk to them about that at the reception. So I want to thank everybody for jumping in and joining me as we looked at our opportunities last year, most notably the development of a clear and defining dynamic strategy that will help our university move forward. So it wasn't until after that investiture that our 4 work groups came together to start working on that strategy. And they hustled to get the work done in 6 months rather than 12 or 18, and Scott Titsworth and Char Miller can talk to you about how that went. But they did it. They got that work done, and they did it without eliminating the most important part, and that is to get feedback and input from our campus. So every member of our community who wanted to offer ideas could do so. So hundreds of you completed surveys, participated in discussions that would inform the development of the goals, strategies, and actions that'll set the course for us for the next 3 years. At the same time they were tackling that assignment, many of you participated by giving input and feedback as we recrafted the university's mission, vision, and values. That was the first full update of those in 15 years. So that was pretty amazing. So it was done by April and approved by our Board of Trustees in June, and now we are not slowing down. We wrote a 3-year plan with audacious goals, and today I'm going to announce significant forward progress that we've made in just the last 90 days to move these goals forward. But before I do that, I want to take a few minutes to recognize some of the amazing accomplishments and momentum that we continue to enjoy as a growing, thriving public institution. We've had some big news just in the last few months. We announced continued expansion of our academic programs to meet shifting workforce demands and student interest. This includes new and revised online degrees, including a bachelor's degree in general studies, an online Master's of Applied Arts in Health, and a hybrid nurse anesthesia program offered at our Dublin campus. In June, our Ohio Board of Trustees approved a resolution to begin offering our nursing associate's degree on the Lancaster campus, which is one more important step in ensuring our regional higher education campuses have the right programming to meet the needs of their communities. And I'm excited that this fall we're the first public university in Ohio to offer a Bachelor of Science degree in Artificial Intelligence through our School of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science in the Russ College. We also received state approval to launch a degree in Cybersecurity Engineering and are now offering a Cybersecurity Operations track in Information and Telecommunication Systems as part of our Scripps College. I want to thank our innovative faculty and academic leadership for developing these programs and moving them all through the necessary steps to get them off the ground. Continuous innovation of our curriculum and programs is deeply important to meeting the needs of our students and our state. We've seen important progress on capital projects over the summer, including beginning the construction on the newly named Roderick J. McDavis Residence Hall on South Green, and continued progress on the Heritage Translational Research Center. I want to thank Dr. Darlene Berryman for her leadership in crafting a proposal to the National Institutes of Health that resulted in Ohio University being one of a very few select institutions to receive a construction and modernization grant totaling $8 million for additional support of the Translational Research Center. Yes, I think that's exactly right. We actually thought that was a pretty amazing thing, and then Eric and Don and I, Eric and Don and I were at the National Institutes of Health, and they just informed us about how marvelous it really was that we got that money. So some of our fine arts groups are relocating as we start the renovation of their space and the new construction to support our Jeffrey D. Chaddock and Mark A. Morrow College of Fine Arts. If you missed the news from our August board meeting, we also renamed the college in honor of a $25 million gift from Jeff and Mark, who are longtime supporters of our university, and Jeff is a Bobcat. That's worth an applause. I also want to mention that just a few weeks ago, we announced a clear and simple, inclusive, excellent goal at Ohio: to be a university where all belong. That's not intended to be a 3-year goal or a 5-year goal. It's really a guiding principle that endures over time. It challenges us to be the university we want to be, and it's something that we have to strive for daily. We shared 3 strategic initiatives that for this academic year that align with that goal, and we continue to bring forward initiatives every year that will improve the continuity of belonging for all our campuses, for all our students, staff, and faculty. In addition to working to improve our programs, our facilities, our culture, and our support of students, we've continued to be a catalyst for the region. In June, we were awarded $2.5 million to support improvements at the Gordon K. Bush Airport in Albany. And it took a while for you to get that, but anyway, it was the Gordon K. Bush Airport in Albany. I'm supposed to be reading this, actually. In mid-July, the Voinovich School received $500,000 grant to improve the electrical infrastructure, charging infrastructure at the airport. These investments are important because we believe the airport can be a true catalyst for growth in Southeast Ohio and fuel economic growth in our region. That's just all the tip of the iceberg in terms of the work this university is doing to improve lives and communities across Ohio. So thanks to every member of our community who are involved in the work, strengthening our state. It's our vision to be a university that provides a valuable education to students and also provides value to our state and the communities that we serve. Your work is ensuring that we achieve that vision. This type of work matters more than any ranking on any list, but we've had several rankings that are worth mentioning. I'm going to name 2 that I think are particularly important. First, Forbes included us on its list of best mid-sized employers in the U.S., and we were ranked 9th on that list among public universities that were included. If you've read our dynamic strategy, and I hope you have, it's our goal to be a destination employer for people passionate about working in public higher education, and this recognition gives us a jump start as we move toward that goal. And for the 5th year in a row, U.S. News and World Report ranked Ohio University #1 among public universities in the state for best value. We're also ranked 26th best value among public universities in the country. This is huge, and we should all be very proud of that ranking. So there's no question in my mind that students are choosing Ohio because they see us as a value, and we deliver on that value. We've seen this in our enrollment and our retention outcomes over the past few years. And now a little bit about that. This fall, our total enrollment was up 4.6%, and our undergraduate enrollment on the Athens campus was up nearly 5%. Our undergraduate online enrollment was up nearly 14%, and we also saw modest growth in our regional higher education and graduate overall enrollment. And our College of Osteopathic Medicine enrollment tipped over 1,000 students. All of that happened despite the national challenges with the federal application for financial aid, which delayed offers of scholarships and aids for months, and despite market pressures in our state, which is one of the most competitive higher education states in the country. The most exciting news from the enrollment census was this: our Athens campus retention hit a 2-decade high at 84.1%. That is worth celebrating. This growth and momentum is palpable. It is real, and I'm confident that we are not done. At the same time, I want to be clear that this growth is happening against a backdrop of slower growth in enrollments nationally, and the year-over-year growth that we have seen is not sustainable. So I've been working in public higher education for a long time, so talking about enrollment and talking about financial constraints is not new, but this moment feels different. For years, the industry was expanding and now it's contracting. And if you read any of the news in Ohio, we know this to be true today. So we have to look at those internal and external pressures and understand that they've grown in volume and in complexity. So over the summer, I attended a meeting of higher education leaders where we talked about all the factors impacting higher education. And those were adding pressure to the fiscal viability of universities. I want to highlight just one of those factors. I think it's an important one for us to address together. So in 2019, 8% of high school students who could go to college chose not to go. And the reason they gave is college wasn't worth the cost, 8%. So 5 years later, in 2023, among high schoolers who were opting out of college, 20% said college wasn't worth the cost. We've gone from less than 1 in 10 to 1 in 5 students who've lost confidence in the value of a university education. So how do we change that? So I want to suggest to you that an answer be found by pointing us back to our institutional mission. So when we were gathering input on the development of our new mission, vision, and values, the first question we asked you was, what is our primary purpose? In every one of those conversations, the first response we heard from you was to educate students. So being a great value and focusing on educating students is one of the ways we'll address that. I would not have devoted my life to higher education if I did not believe in the power of the transformative experience for students, the power of our purpose. So how will we combat the idea that education isn't worth it? We'll educate students and we'll prepare them for a lifetime of success. How will we confront the pressures of escalating competition? By educating students and doing it so well that our student outcomes set us apart. How will we show our state leaders that public investment in higher education pays off? By educating students in a way that prepares them for in-demand careers that fuel economic growth in our state and beyond. What we do, educate students, is an incredibly simple and incredibly powerful purpose with ripple effects far beyond the boundaries of the classrooms or our campuses, reaching across communities and carrying across generations. I absolutely love the simplicity of our newly crafted mission, and I hope you all got a copy of that today. I see a lot of people wearing the discs. So our mission, to hold the door open to higher education so that all those eager to solve humanity's most urgent challenges might enter to learn, connecting them with experiences and discovery that will help them think critically, care deeply, lead boldly, and ultimately depart to serve. And our vision, to deliver the most valuable university education in Ohio and lead as one of the most valued public universities in the nation. I counted, and in total, that's just 66 words. 44 in the mission, 66 in the mission, and 22 in the vision. And in those 66 words, I believe we can find the answer to how we uniquely, as members of the Ohio University, meet this moment. It's not about doing more, all right? It's not about doing more. It's about remembering what we do well, amplifying it, and staying ahead in those areas of excellence. It's not about chasing every opportunity, but rather identifying the few that will best deliver value to our students and our state and pouring our energies into executing those with excellence. That's what I ask our campus to do in the development of the dynamic strategy, to build on our strengths, and to embrace a few select opportunities to move our institution forward in alignment with our mission and vision and the campus delivered. As a national public university serving nearly 30,000 students, our university will always be brimming with activity, including new initiatives, continuous improvement of administrative services, the launch of new programs, the work that we do every day that ensures we continue to educate students. We didn't intend to or attempt that our dynamic strategy would fit everything into it. I would add that there's always work we know we must do to remain strong in a context of evolving higher education landscape. For example, we must and we will develop a clear budget model that everyone on our campus understands and that helps inform our financial decisions and makes room for innovation. We must and we will develop strategic enrollment plans and strategies that ensure that we can proactively deliver on our mission. Must and we will continue progress on our major capital investments, including our housing master plan, the reimagining of the Chaddock Morrow Fine Arts, the modernization of some of our lab facilities, and more, as we keep pace with student expectations and faculty needs. We must and we will modernize the systems we rely on for our business operations and our management of data. We have a multi-year project that kicked off this summer to help us achieve that goal. These are all the things that are necessary for us to continue to thrive, especially even if they aren't specifically called out in the dynamic strategy. The dynamic strategy is not focused on the work that we must do to be effective. Rather, it defines goals that will help us work across divisions and units to do something extraordinary. So let's move on to an update on our progress since our Board of Trustees approved our strategy in June. As you know, as soon as Provost Leo had settled into his office in July, I welcomed him with a gift in the form of an assignment. So Don, I want to thank you for not only just willingly, but enthusiastically accepting the charge to lead the implementation phase of the dynamic strategy. Thank you. I also gave him a partner in Vice President Robin Oliver, who was highly involved in the planning process of the plan, and on to ensure progress is on track and that the university community is fully informed of our progress. Over the last several weeks, Robin and Dawn have worked closely with our President's Cabinet and our Dean's Council to develop a framework for implementation that will ensure decisions are made, accountability is clear, and diverse voices are heard so that we can move the plan forward with urgency. This framework includes an executive leadership team for each pillar, consisting of members of the cabinet and our academic deans, who will ultimately be responsible for the success of the pillar. The team will gather input as needed and design activities to fulfill the strategies and actions outlined in the plan. They'll solidify the list of outcomes and metrics that we will use to measure our progress and set 3-year goals for each of the metrics. They'll assign ad hoc work groups as needed to move those activities forward and bring forward any associated budget requests for consideration. Provost Leo will lead the leadership team for Learn. Vice President Muth will lead the team for Discover. Vice President Oliver will lead the team for Engage, and Vice President Miles will lead the team for Work. The full list of members serving on each of these groups can be found on our Dynamic Strategy website at ohio.edu/strategy. You'll also find information on that site about how you can raise your hand to get involved in this next phase of the plan. In addition to the executive leadership team, Dawn and Robin will be assembling an implementation advisory committee that will meet regularly to hear updates on progress and provide feedback. We had a high level of engagement through the planning process, and we want that to continue. With that in mind, beginning today, through Friday, October 18th, we'll be accepting nominations for individuals interested in serving on the advisory committee or being involved in other ways, such as offering input to the pillar leadership teams or serving on an activity work group. You can nominate yourself or a colleague, but please note that cabinet members and deans that are already on one of the leadership teams cannot be eligible to serve. They have enough to do, we think. So this framework for moving forward and ensuring accountability is important, but I want to assure you that we've done more in the last 90 days than just plan for the implementation of the plan. While we've been developing this framework, we have leaned into key actions that are defined in the plan to move them quickly toward reality. In our Learn pillar, our planning group set the goal of achieving and maintaining the industry's highest standard in both teaching and research. We've already achieved R1 status, and we know we not only need to protect it, but also continue to grow our research enterprise and our leadership in research. We've also long been a university focused on excellence in teaching, but higher education offers much less clarity on how you measure success in teaching across institutions. So our dynamic strategy calls for us to partner with higher education leaders and experts to define key outcomes and metrics that demonstrate excellence in teaching. And I'm excited to share today that we've engaged with the John N. Gardner Institute for Undergraduate Excellence in Undergraduate Education, as a partner that will work in this work. Together with leaders of the Gardner Institute, we'll convene a meeting of like-minded institutions in the spring of 2025 to develop a new system of measurement for our industry focused on teaching excellence. We know what defines an R1 institution, but what defines a T1 institution? That's the question we'll answer together. And as a lead partner and convener, we will solidify Ohio University as a thought leader in teaching excellence. Our Learn strategies also call for us to expand the availability of and access to learning opportunities outside of the traditional classroom that prepare students for post-graduation success. Actually, the plan calls for us to do that immediately. So with that in mind, Provost Leo charged out a group of academic deans to make recommendations for immediate action and investment. And following their recommendations, today we are announcing a $500,000 investment of one-time funds over the next 3 years to fund multiple related activities. First, we'll immediately expand the dollars available to students to support their pursuit of experiential learning opportunities, including internships and career shadowing. We've also worked to identify the multitude of funding activities already available to support our student experiences, research, creative activity, study abroad, and away. And you can now find details and instructions on applying for these opportunities at ohio.edu/experience. Second, our Center for Teaching and Learning and Assessment will build on the success of the recent Gen AI certification program for faculty with launch of a certification in teaching experiential learning. That program will be planned for the summer of 2025 with faculty participants receiving a $1,000 stipend to complete the program. And we just lost the teleprompter. Hold on just a minute. That's like a gray thing. Would you all pause for just a moment? Wish we had a little music playing. In addition, we've started the process of building an inventory of our, And finally, our academic deans will organize a faculty work group to explore ways that we can offer course credit for more of the internships that our students pursue and design and launch credit-bearing reflection courses for learning activities such as leadership positions with student organizations to translate experience into learning. We've made real progress in our work to fulfill the two goals of our Discover work group. Our plan calls for us to increase distinction in research into healthy aging, energy, and the environment, as well as accelerate emerging, or as Vice President Muth has stated, re-emerging areas of excellence. Appropriately, one of the actions included in the plan is to strengthen our intellectual capital by recruiting and retaining research faculty. I'm going to wait till it catches up with me. We're paragraphs down. Sorry. Keep going. There. Today I can share this. I have approved a plan jointly presented to me by Provost Leo and Vice President Muth to invest in up to 15 new tenure-track faculty positions to fulfill this goal. Provost Leo has shared this plan with the academic deans, and they'll bring forward proposals for faculty lines that advance our strengths as defined in the dynamic strategy. I want to emphasize that this investment in up to 15 new tenure-track faculty lines to support the research enterprise is a bold decision, and it's not one that we made lightly. It's a decision that represents more than a $1.5 million recurring investment. But Dawn, Eric, and I very much understand the success of our research enterprise is fueled by our faculty. We know an investment in our faculty, including those already here doing great work, is essential to long-term success. In addition to adding new capacity, our dynamic strategy calls for improving support of our current faculty members as they pursue research. As the Vice President Muth has reviewed the organizational structure for the research division, he's defined two key leadership positions that are designed to provide important administrative support to research faculty. An Associate Vice President of Research Partnerships, which is currently being filled in an interim capacity by Jason Jolly, that will focus on enhancing technology transfer and commercialization. That's called out in the plan. And an Associate Vice President for Research Administration, which is currently posted and will help us build the research infrastructure to bolster support of grant acquisition. There's still much to do in Discover, but these investments lay an important foundation for the work to come. For our Engage pillar, we're committed in the plan to creating a Center for Community Impact or some similar organizational structure to serve as an enhanced front door to the university. And our plan recognizes that we need to evaluate our current engagement efforts and community partnerships to lay the groundwork for that structure. Later this month, we will convene staff and faculty across the institution working in engagement-focused roles to engage them in this discovery process. We have extensive community partnerships and amazing people across the campus who steward those partnerships. And it will be important that any new infrastructure we add is complementary to the existing work and not unnecessarily disruptive to the work already happening. I've asked Vice President Oliver, who's leading our Engaged Leadership team, to work with stakeholders to provide a clear plan for our front door no later than February. The plan also calls for us to expand alumni engagement, including involving alumni in mentorship of our students to inform their professional success. Ultimately, we want every student who is interested in connecting with a Bobcat alumnus in their field to have that opportunity. I personally believe if we can do this, it will set us apart from our industry partners. Over the past several months, leaderships in our academic colleges have been hard at work in partnership with alumni relations on pilot programs that will help inform a larger community-wide initiative. For example, our College of Business will soon launch an alumni coaching program specifically for first-generation students, and our College of Arts and Sciences plans to launch a program targeting pre-law students this spring. So there are also multiple existing mentorship programs with alumni across the university, and they target specific student populations. And then our students can also connect informally through the Bobcat Network online community. So as we work to scale existing programs to reach more students, we've tapped 2 faculty members with expertise and experience in effective mentorship. Dr. Amy Taylor Bianco, she's here, I thought I saw her for sure. There, thank you. From the College of Business, and Dr. Dwan Robinson, there, thank you, from the Patton College of Education, will lead the charge to design a clear framework for leveraging alumni talent to improve student outcomes. Staff in alumni relations, in the Career Center, and various career centers and offices will be important partners as we move forward in these efforts. So our final pillar is work. And I love our goal of becoming a destination employer for those passionate about the mission of public higher education. So our first action described in the work pillar is to make meaningful investments in our total rewards program for both faculty and staff. So today I'm announcing our commitment to hold all employee benefit premiums flat for the next 2 years. The university will absorb any increase in cost rather than passing those along to our faculty and staff as we did this year. The impact of that freeze this year and the next 2 will help bring us in line with our benchmarks, and most importantly, it will ensure annual raises result in more money in the pockets of our faculty and staff. So I want you to I know you want more in terms of real change to compensation, including higher annual raises, more opportunities for promotion or professional growth, and recognition for exemplary performance. The question really isn't if we'll make those changes, but how we will make them and when we can, recognizing budget constraints. Finding answers to how and when will be one of the challenges I give to the new Vice President of Administration, the work pillar leadership team, and members of the President's Cabinet. Work also calls for us to develop a plan for measuring and responding to employee sentiment. And this spring, we'll conduct a Modern Think faculty and staff survey specifically designed to help us improve organizational culture and employee engagement. The plan asks us to ensure the integration and success of our new hires by improving onboarding. And I'm excited to share that in August, we launched an improved onboarding program for administrative employees, and we're working to design a full year of community building and culture building activities for both staff and faculty. Our new onboarding program is the first step toward building our Center for Employee Excellence called for in our dynamic strategy. That center will also include programs for professional development and staff and faculty recognition, and I've committed an investment of $250,000 in non-recurring funds over the next 3 years to support these programs as they're developed. What I hope you've heard clearly and loudly is that we're moving forward. We're talking about doing the hard work that you put into this plan, and we're taking it seriously, and we're making investments. This isn't a document that's going to sit on the shelf. We're going to get it out every day, dog-ear it, underline it, highlight it, circle things, but most importantly, we're going to take action on its direction. Over the next few weeks, our executive leadership teams will be meeting and finalizing the outcomes and metrics that we'll use to measure our progress. And you can expect another update, this time from Provost Leo, before the end of the semester as those metrics are finalized. As a preview, please know that I've asked them to consider a smaller set of metrics rather than a complex dashboard of dozens and dozens of metrics. So the teams will also be talking about and considering activities that we haven't talked about today. Our dynamic strategy is focused but ambitious. So there are a number of actions outlined in the plan that we've yet to define actions to take. So that'll be a big part of the work of our leadership teams and our advisory implementation group. So remember that your input is invited. If you're ready to volunteer to play a role in the next phase, or you know someone, go to ohio.edu/strategy and make your recommendation or nomination by October 18th. So I want to thank you for investing your time listening today, and I hope that you walk away encouraged and ready to get to work. Maybe that work is on some part of the dynamic strategy, but whether it fits squarely in the plan or not, know that your work is part of ensuring that we deliver on our mission. Maybe you're a development officer finalizing a scholarship agreement so that we can hold the door open to one more student. Maybe you're a member of the faculty headed to a meeting with a student researcher who will solve challenges in our community and in the world. Maybe later today you'll be teaching one of our courses in the Bricks General Education and helping students think critically. Maybe you're a member of our financial aid team and you'll coach a parent through the financial aid process this afternoon. Or you're a residential advisor serving as a sounding board to students eager to find their place at Ohio. Or a member of our facilities team ensuring our university provides the warm and welcoming environment our students know and love. Or maybe you're a coach inspiring student athletes on and off the field, or a career advisor helping a small group of students with their resumes. All of these seemingly small moments of our day can be incredibly big in the lives of the students we serve. Every day, every hour is an opportunity to inform their success and to demonstrate the power and the value of an Ohio University education. And I know when you bring your passion, when you bring your energy and commitment and innovation to your work, we can and will provide unmatched value to our students, to the communities we serve, to the state, and ultimately to the world. Thank you all for all you have done and continue to do to make this university great. Now let's go and make it extraordinary. Thank you. Thank you.